All right, Week 16, Jaguars versus Buccaneers. This should be a fun one. Jacksonville is favored by 1. I'm going to take Jacksonville, and that's with the assumption that Trevor Lawrence, who's listed as questionable, plays. If he doesn't play, that throws off everything. He's listed questionable. Again, sometimes I think that they mess around with those. The model gives Jacksonville a 58% chance of winning, which equates to about a 2-point spread. And the raw numbers are a little bit better than that, showing just a slightly larger, whereas the line is showing it even. That's probably taking consideration the fact that they're playing at Tampa. The adjustment, which I'm not going to use, just because it's that the yellow means it's moderate. Sometimes I take it, sometimes I don't. The one thing I point out, both of these teams, they have some good wins and they have some bad losses as well. So these two teams are definitely the bottom tier of the playoff potentials. So you've got a first place NFC South team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 7-7. That just kind of sounds embarrassing, particularly for that entire conference. And meanwhile, you have a first place, tied for first place, 8-6 team, Jacksonville Jaguars. So, and I would point out that Tampa is tied with New Orleans at 7-7. So, like I said, neither one of these teams are. They both have flashes of some pretty strong points. And by the way, if you look at the raw numbers of Trevor Lawrence versus Baker Mayfield. So Trevor Lawrence has thrown for 3,500 yards with 18 TDs and 10 interceptions. Baker Mayfield's thrown for 3,300 yards with 24 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. So Trevor Lawrence is definitely showing that he is trending to be a really solid quarterback, but he is not quite there yet. I don't know if he's been playing injured. Like I said, he's listed as questionable. So I would imagine that they need him in that game if they want any chance of making the playoffs. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next slide. So the numbers look pretty comparable for the two of them. And as we just read, they've been throwing about the same. And so you're talking 250-ish or so yards with about 100 yards of rushing for each team. When you come over here to the right, you definitely see a Tampa team that's got some more explosion over here. And I'd say that they're overall doing a pretty good job of protecting Baker Mayfield. Similar numbers over here for Jacksonville. I think that they might be less. It looks like they're just a little bit less explosive. A little bit better job on the fumbles and such, and about the same job overall as protecting the quarterback. So, like I said, the numbers are showing that these two teams are pretty equally matched. And when you look at the raw numbers, showing the same thing. I'll be interested to see. Again, I would watch that very closely if they update Trevor Lawrence is going to play or not, and hopefully hopefully the information on that is accurate, because that's one of the times where you look and say that can make a really big difference, because otherwise these teams are pretty equally matched, and should be a really fun game to watch. Like I said, both of these teams are really anxious to win and put themselves in the playoff, and these can be the funnest games to watch. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy it, and if you like what you listen to, click like and subscribe, and if you got a question or comment, drop me a note.